Welcome. Thank you for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Deb Gillard, your host of the program. Today is Wednesday, December 17th. That much closer to Christmas, folks. Keep on. Wait, I hear screams in the background. Hopefully you're in the spirit as we all should be right about now. And I can't speak for myself about being actually done. Do you ever feel done before it gets to be Christmas Eve? Maybe some of you do, and I'm jealous of that. But in any case, we do thank you for joining us here on the program today. You can find us, of course, 6 days a week on Charter Channel 181. We are also on the internet. You can go to YouTube, type in Owatonna Today Show, and you'll find us. You can go to Leanne's website, thethirdhandvideo.com, and you'll find us there. You can find us on Facebook and like us, and you'll get notifications when we have new shows. So lots of ways to watch us here on the Owatonna Today Show. And do, by all means, get us information about events that are coming up. We do announcements at the end of the show about things that are coming up in the community. Some of those may be worthy of a program or a segment or a guest on the show, and we are interested in hearing about those from you as well. You can email us at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can give Leanne a call at 390-5751. We've got some great information coming up for you this show. We are going to be talking with, let's see, how can I say this? An incoming school resource officer and an outgoing school resource officer from our Owatonna Police Department. That's going to be next up. A little bit later on in the program, we have Karen here from Steele County Public Health, and we're going to be talking a little bit about influenza. So let's take this break for our supporters, and we'll come back with our representatives from the Owatonna Police Department. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Welcome back on this Wednesday, December 17th. And as I mentioned, two individuals from our Owatonna Police Department join us. One, a familiar face, Joel Hunt, Detective Joel Hunt. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. And we've had you on the program before, and you've provided us a lot of great information. We're also introducing a new face here today, and that would be Detective Brianne Lesnau. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, and we want to talk a little bit about the roles that they have or have had, and those have actually changed. I was going to say changing, but we're kind of in that process. Joel, you have been the school resource officer at the Owatonna Junior High School for the last
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And it was time to give up that position and move on to something else?
Yeah, we had a vacancy caused by Detective Edel retiring.
Okay.
He had quite a few years on the police department, and he retired, so now I get to step into his role as a full-time investigator, and then we call Bree up from the patrol division.
Okay, all right. And let's get to know Brianne a little bit better if we can. And how long have you been with the Owatonna Police Department, Bree?
As of the 4th, I've been here for 2 years.
Okay, and came from where?
I graduated from St. Francis,
okay.
And then I went to school in Kansas. Then I moved back and went to law enforcement school, and then I got hired here at Owatonna.
Well, welcome, and you settled in here for the last couple of years at least?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yep. And then I took over for Joel's position on December 1st, so I've been in that position for 15 days now.
15 days and counting.
Yes.
So let's talk about a little bit, in case our folks don't know, there may be some who have children in school and they may be familiar with seeing you at the junior high, either you, Joel, or now Bree. What exactly does the school resource officer do at the junior high? Can you go over a sort of a day in the life of what comes up?
Well, you go to school, it's kind of every issue that comes up at school with the kids, with maybe parents that come in, with staff, anything. I'm the officer there that deals with all of those situations. I'm there to make a police presence throughout the hallways and throughout the school day. Any issues that would be a police matter, then I'm there to handle them.
Okay.
If you have anything else to...
Yeah, the visual deterrent is the largest part of our being there. You know, we're out there in the mornings during bus duty as the buses are coming in and as they're leaving in the lunchroom. We try not to have a regular schedule and be at certain places at certain times because the kids do pick up on that. The other thing is helping out with the entire district-wide crisis plan and helping run lockdown drills and fire drills even. Just being that public safety voice within the schools. And
So it's basically the hours that school is in session, that is when you are working?
Yep.
Okay, and just kind of being that, like you said, being that presence. Are you, I haven't been to the junior high and seen, so I don't know, but are you in uniform?
No, I wear, this is what I wear.
Plain clothes? Okay.
Plain clothes, and then I just have a little less tools on my belt, and I have an office right in the main office, so I'm there with the principals, the assistant principal, and just one of them until there comes a police matter, and then I'm a police officer that's in the school district. So.
And just, without getting into details, what would be some things that you might see as a police matter?
Well, there's always, you know, fights, anything like that.
Altercations of various sorts. Okay, all right.
And then there's just, I mean, it's just like on patrol, except you're only in the school. So say you would get a call, like teachers call on the radio. We carry a school radio, so if anything comes up, if a student's being disruptive or, you know, causing a disturbance or fighting, then we get a call on the radio. I go and I deal with that call.
Okay. Something that just needs to be looked into or checked up on or followed through.
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, if it becomes more than just having that presence there and breaking it up, and obviously if there would be anything that's more serious and have charges associated with it, obviously you follow that through to
and I go through till the end to
its completion. Okay. How many kids are at the junior high right now?
About 750, right around there.
That's
so
a big
there's
load.
quite a few. We actually have 2 school resource officers in the district. Bree's position really covers K through 8, so she'll go out to the elementary schools as well. Now, the elementary schools don't need as much support, but there's certain situations where, like, a non-custodial parent shows up trying to take a kid, which doesn't happen that often, or they get restraining orders for parents and things like that, so they rely on us to kind of look those over and advise them, well, do we need this in the file? Is this something old? And we can check our databases and make sure that the parent is providing correct information.
But junior high is a little bit more volatile age, shall we say. I mean, we've got a lot it's just adolescence is a tough time. It's a tough time for them. It's a tough time for us. And so I would guess that plays itself out in the school sometimes.
Yes, it does.
It does. And they're trying to find who their friends are and letting go of certain friends that are making certain decisions and things like that. Definitely social media and how they can, you know, they don't leave the school and forget about each other. They're really still in contact throughout, whereas, you know, back in our day in school, we'd have to, you know, call the person on the phone or actually see them, but they really are in more ways to stay in contact, and that isn't necessarily a good thing always.
Yes, I would agree with that. Having all of that out on social media, young people make, well, people in general, but definitely those who are, you know, not mature enough to make other decisions are potentially making some decisions that they shouldn't and not realizing really what the extent of social media can do.
Yes.
Do you provide any, as a school resource officer, do you provide any education along those lines? Are there times where you are or actually trying to educate on certain things like that?
Yeah, actually the school district has, per state law now, has to provide some sort of cyberbullying or internet safety training. That falls under the English teachers, and the English teachers teach a little bit of a curriculum, and then they've invited me in as the internet crimes person for the police department, and I teach the Net Smarts program, which is through the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. So I just spent entire day going through all the 7th grade English classes to teach appropriate behaviors on social media and
that's good information.
Ways to protect yourself from predators and things like that.
And it's another thing they don't think of, you know, really outside of school, completely out of the confines of school. What information are you sharing? How can you protect yourselves? And that's a scary thing for parents.
And it's constantly changing what the kids can access from, like, their iPods and things like that. I had a situation in the school where somebody from the Middle East was asking for inappropriate things from a juvenile by a messenger service. And, you know, that's where educating the kids that, you know, where it can come from. It's not just down the street and things like that. It can be from across the world. and they have to be careful of who they're talking to on there.
You know, the things we have to pay attention to now for our children, you know, are much greater and a little insidious, I guess, is the word that comes to mind. They're not as out there in the open because they are on their phones privately, and they're on their, you know, and perhaps on the computer. Do you help to advise parents in that regard to just try to keep a handle on some of that? I know we're pretty good at our house about here. Let me see your phone. No chance to delete texts or anything like that.
Right.
We're as parents allowed to do that. We provide the phone. Do you help some parents with those kinds of things?
You know, in my experience, I've helped a parent delete a kid's Facebook account and things like that when it's been a problem. I've done some presentations, like the entire St. Mary's junior high age parents and students when they were going to get their Chromebooks and things like that, just to talk about what's out there, the same sort of internet safety talk. Hopefully Bree will be getting trained up on that so she can kind of take over on those things. It's a program, and it's really nice because everything's laid out for you to talk about.
Well, a lot of good things to keep providing information to those kids as they pass through, I think, a very difficult time. Like you said, challenging, finding friends. Who are your friends? Who am I?
Experimenting with life and figuring themselves out.
Yes, and hopefully not experimenting with a whole lot of other things, you know, in that regard. Can we just talk a little bit about what your new job is going to entail then, Joel, since you've been here with us before? So as you move into your new position, what kinds of things will you be doing?
I'll be getting general investigations, anything that the patrol division doesn't have time to follow up on, more in-depth things, or if they can't get in contact with a victim or a suspect, I'll do that. Child protection cases, I'll still be doing the internet crimes cases through the ICAC task force. So it'll just be kind of a plethora of different cases and things. So.
And you're there obviously as a resource, so if Bree encounters some things that, you know, she says, whoa, what do I do with this? You know, you're here and able to kind of help with that. I would imagine you make that transition very smooth.
I try to be as nice as possible to her when she calls
He is on my speed dial as of right now, just so if I have any questions.
I mean, it's a really difficult position just because there's a lot of gray area and you're dealing with kids, so you can't go into it, you know, even when they're suspects of a crime, you have to be careful about how you're approaching them, and you know, you want them to learn their lesson and grow up and be successful. So
and do it all within certain frameworks. So,
Yes.
Well, you do have challenging positions both, and I respect all that you do on our police force. So thank you, Joel, for your work in the school and your continuing work in investigations, and Brianne for your work as school resource officer. Do you have a time frame as to how long you'll be in that position?
The assignment's 3 years as of right now.
It is 3 years. Okay, and you spent a little extra time there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you, and we hope to have you back on the program again and talk about how things are going. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Detective Joel Hunt and Detective Brianne Lesnau, and from our Owatonna Police Department. And of course, if you have any questions about what they do, or for our police department, I know we have a very accessible one, so do give them a call or get in contact if you have questions. Let's take this break for our show supporters, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Olson of Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna. We know that good health goes beyond having a quality clinic and hospital in our community. That's why United Way is convening community partners to reduce obesity, diabetes, and heart disease in Steele County. At the same time, United Way is funding programs that increase access to health and dental care right now. We're proud to be a partner of the United Way Community Campaign Leadership Team, and we encourage you to join us by giving a gift this year.
Don't let the cold winter weather stop you from exercising. Keep up your fitness program at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. We offer a variety of different membership packages available on daily, monthly, and yearly basis. We also have a variety of programs and services to help the newest of members get started and to help those who have been around for a while improve on what they are doing. The Tennis and Fitness Center participates in insurance reimbursement programs with a variety of different insurance providers that could make you eligible for up to $20 credit each month. For more information about the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, call us at 444-4290.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I am Dr. Amy Swain from Amy Swain Hearing Centers, and for more than 20 years I have been helping people hear better. It has been a very rewarding experience, but so many people put off getting help with their hearing. Clients often tell me they wish they had started wearing hearing aids sooner, as their quality of life was improved so much with better hearing. Call me today at 1-800-804-3361 for a free hearing test at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. That's 1-800-804-3361, where Dr. Amy Swain wants everyone to hear better.
Hello, I'm Shawn McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back. Thank you again for joining us on this Wednesday, December 17th. I have with me Karen Fountaine from Steele County Public Health. How are you?
Glad to be here.
Well, we're very glad to have you. It's a topic we don't necessarily love and want to talk about, but we need to. It is something that's comes up every year about this time, and so we wanted to have you here, Karen, to talk a little bit about influenza. What we can do, what we should look for, those types of things. And you are, in fact, an influenza vaccination coordinator. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, a title that you can put on a name tag, I guess, if you want to. But and so, what does that entail before we even get into the details of the flu?
It means that during the fall, when the majority of influenza vaccinations are administered, I help coordinate that program.
Okay. Okay, through public health and
yes, make contacts with agencies or assisted living facilities, our outlying communities to schedule influenza vaccination clinics.
And do you find that about the same number of people are vaccinated every year? I mean, how did that go for you this fall? Was it something people were paying a lot of attention to, or?
I would say the number of persons that are getting vaccinated remains around, I would say, about 30 to 40%. We'd like for it to be higher. Mm-hmm. What I think a good trend in influenza vaccination is that there are more venues for people to get vaccinated at.
That's true.
Meaning there are pharmacies and minute clinics, mm-hmm. and we have several. We have a Homeland Health clinic and a Coles clinic, and then people can come to public health. They can go to medical clinics. And so the more venues there are for people to get vaccinated, we know that it will fit into persons' schedules better, and it will increase the number and opportunities for people to get.
Okay. Why would you say, what would be some of the reasons that someone would not get a flu vaccination? I know there are allergies in some cases.
The only reason people would not get vaccinated, contraindication I should say, is an allergy to eggs.
Okay.
But there are other reasons why people choose not to get vaccinated. And some of those are that some people feel that if they get vaccinated, there's a chance they could get the flu from the vaccination, which is impossible because the vaccine does not have, the influenza virus in the vaccine. So that is impossible. Some people do not like shots. Mm-hmm. We always say, if you don't like a shot, we also have the intranasal spray available.
And up to a certain age, though, right?
Yes,
I mean,
that's
not
between
for
age 2 and 49 years of age, and then healthy individuals, not people that have underlying health issues, are not candidates for that type of vaccine.
Okay, and I would guess that many people just walking around saying, I'm pretty healthy, I'm not young, I'm not old, I'm not, technically exposed to any of that. And there are certainly some segments of the population that really should pay attention to getting them if they can, and that maybe would be some of those with the compromised immune systems or that the flu would take a much greater toll.
Yes.
Okay.
And typically, I think when influenza vaccinations first were developed, the philosophy was more that the vaccinations would be administered to the higher risk categories. Now there's kind of a twist in the thinking, and that's saying, but if we vaccinate everyone, except for the people that had the contraindication due to the allergic reaction to eggs, we're going to protect more people, because if there's less influenza circulating in a community, it decreases the chances of people becoming ill. And that, in a sense, protects people that maybe are more of a high risk of getting ill from influenza. And then another, I think, idea that we want to get out to people is that every year influenza also hits healthy people. Healthy people get ill, and healthy people, for whatever reason, it has serious complications, and they are hospitalized.
Yeah.
And so it can
really take a toll.
Yeah, it can take a toll on everyone.
Am I correct in saying that there's always there's a influenza that they're vaccinating against, the one that they feel is going to be hitting the hardest that year, or is the one to watch out for?
What happens is in January of every year, the APIC decides which strains of influenza vaccine strains of flu will be put in the vaccine for that year.
Okay.
And typically what they are doing is looking and seeing what influenza strains have been making people ill in the southern hemisphere, and which strains have been circulating. And then they try and put those strains into the vaccine for the upcoming fall.
Okay. Can someone who's had a vaccine, I feel like a textbook frequently asked questions here, but can someone who has had an influenza vaccine still contract a flu that has the strain in there?
That is exactly what's happening this year.
Okay.
There is a strain in the vaccine. It's called H3N2. And what has happened is, from the time they put it in the vaccine, that strain has started to change a little bit. And so the exact strain that is in the vaccine is not the exact strain that is circulating right now in southern Minnesota. However, that being said, just because it is not an exact match does not mean it does not still give some protection. And that's why we urge persons who have not gotten vaccinated yet to still get vaccinated, because you should get some protection still from the vaccine, and we are in hopes that it might also decrease the severity of complications if you do.
I have heard that as well.
Yes.
Because influenza season doesn't just stop right now either. It continues till about when? Yeah. When do you consider it to be kind of past?
Okay, usually by April.
Okay.
But, so there's a lot of influenza season left. And even though at the moment the H3N2 is a strain that's circulating, there can be other strains that, as the season progresses, may become the predominant strains.
Sure.
And if you are vaccinated and there are 2 or 3 other strains of influenza in the vaccine, that will help protect you in case those strains should become predominant.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what to watch out for.
Yes.
We hear a lot and see a lot in the news, but let's get kind of down to the basics. What do we look for if that really indicates influenza?
Influenza usually hits people hard. They have a higher fever, sometimes over 100, sometimes 101, 102, 103, severe headaches, a dry cough, just generalized body achiness. You just feel awful.
And it doesn't kind of creep up on you? Does it hit more
Usually
suddenly?
It hits more sudden.
Okay.
With a cold, how you might have a sore throat for a couple days before the cold hits, and then you start to have a little bit of a runny nose, a little bit of congestion, and you say, I just don't feel good. But it's not like you go home and go to bed and say, I just feel awful.
Right.
But with the influenza, it really hits people hard.
That's what you feel like. And what do we need to do when we feel that, or someone that we love is feeling that way?
Okay. Some messages we want to get out is for people to stay home. so that you can get your rest and that you don't spread the influenza to other people, to drink plenty of fluids. Dehydration is always can always be a severe complication of influenza, and so hydration is very important. So drink a lot of fluids. Cover your mouth and nose when you cough so that you're not spreading the virus to other people. Wash your hands frequently, because if you're touching the secretions and they get on your hands, then it's easy to spread those to your environment and other people can get ill. You can take fever-reducing medication if that is, if you're just to feel better too. And then to call your healthcare provider if a person has symptoms that they are very concerned about or they are running a very high fever.
Okay, well, a lot of great information, and a lot of it seems very common sense, but it's common sense things that we do need to be reminded of. So again, Karen,
Yes.
Thank you. Do remember that you can get a hold of Steele County Public Health if you're interested in still getting the vaccination.
Yes, we have plenty of vaccine. You can call our office at 444-7650, and we will arrange for you to get influenza vaccination this week.
Okay, or if somebody even has questions about what to do and how to take care of it if
Yes.
they're seeing some signs and symptoms. Karen,
Yes.
thank you very much for being with us. Good information for us
All
to
right,
have.
thank you for letting us get the word out.
You're welcome. Let's take a break for our supporters and we'll be right back to wrap up.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to Transitional Housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Let's wrap it up for this Wednesday, December 17th, with a couple of announcements. Riverbend Nature Center is holding a celebration this coming Sunday, December 21st, to celebrate the shortest day and the longest night. It is the winter solstice. You're invited to stop and stargaze, enjoy the cool air. Cross-country skis and snowshoes can both be borrowed and are included in the overall price, which is $10 or $5 for members. It will take place from 5 to 7 o'clock. There will be a quick lesson on snowshoeing and skiing, and that will start at 5:30, and the event is absolutely open to all ages. For more information or to pre-register, contact Hannah Champeau, Environmental Educator, at 332-7151, or online you can go to Riverbend Nature Center's website and find out more information. Sounds like fun. It really does. A nice thing to do in this season. If you need an extra hand in creating capacity and support for your organization, Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation, in partnership with the Corporation for National and Community Service, is seeking proposals from organizations interested in hosting full-time AmeriCorps VISTA members. For more information about that community partnership, wow, I don't have a phone number on here. Deadline for community partner site applications is January 15th. I guess at this point I would suggest calling Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation for more information about that. So that's enough for the announcements today. Coming up on Friday's program, we will be hosting folks from the Otto Bremer Foundation and City of Owatonna. So please join us then. Have a wonderful day.